When it comes to dinosaurs, bigger is often better. I mean, just look at this guy. That's one big dino. But some dinosaurs bucked that trend in more ways than one, sporting flashy headgear like horns and crests and frills. So why would a dinosaur need such showy, sometimes even goofy-looking adornments? And how did they get them so big, yet still keep them lightweight enough to not be a burden? Well, scientists have a few theories about that. So let's get into it. So first off, let's talk about these guys. Not exactly what you'd call subtle, are they? These dinosaurs were part of a group called ceratopsians, which means horned dinosaurs. And yes, all of the species in this group had those big, showy horns on their heads. But honestly, it's kind of misleading to call them all horns. The bony outgrowths on top of their heads started out as simple, unpaired cones of bone covered in skin. Over time, the skin covering these cones might have thickened into tough, leathery pads, or maybe even bone, depending on the species. Basically, the skin and bone grew and changed in a way that maximized surface area, while minimizing mass, kind of like the thin, bony plates that cover a bird's head, only way more extreme. These structures aren't just found on ceratopsians. Many other dinosaurs also sported frills, crests, and other bony headgear. Take the same bony head ornaments, for example. This dino's head was a mess of bony plates and bumps, connected by thin bony spines, kind of like a headband made of straws. Other dinosaurs like Styracosaurus had a single, long, straight horn on their nose. And let's not forget about the most famous of them all, the mighty T-Rex, whose skull was adorned with a pair of brow horns and a smaller pair of nose horns. Now, fossils can't tell us what these dinosaurs looked like when they were alive, just their skeleton. But based on the shape of these structures, researchers think they were likely covered in a layer of keratin, the same stuff that makes our nails and hair. Now, it's hard to say exactly how these structures developed because they started out as cartilage, which doesn't preserve in the fossil record the way bone does. But we do have some clues. We know that dinosaurs inherited the genetic instructions for building feathers from their relatives, the crocodilians. So it seems likely that dinosaurs also got their fancy headgear the same way, through the modification of existing structures used for display and communication. Basically, these structures started out as simple, unpaired cones of bone covered in skin, kind of like the bump on a bird's nose, and then evolved into something more complex through changes in gene expression, meaning that the same genes that control feather development could also control the development of these head ornaments. But why would dinosaurs need such big, elaborate headgear in the first place? To answer that question, researchers have turned to none other than the peacock. Peacocks have elaborate tail feathers that they shake and shimmer to attract mates. And as far as we can tell, dinosaurs were no different. But peacocks also use their tails for a less glamorous purpose: intimidation. They use their big, beautiful tails to threaten other peacocks and tell them to stay away. And it seems likely that dinosaurs used their horns, crests, and frills for the same thing, to threaten rivals and make them back off. It would make sense that dinosaurs needed to be extra showy, because, let's face it, they were a pretty bunch. Just look at this guy's face. He looks like he's wearing a pair of devil horns. And who wouldn't be intimidated by that? Of course, there's also the possibility that these structures were used for something else entirely, like attracting prey or helping with thermoregulation, meaning they might have helped dinosaurs absorb or reflect heat. But we'll save those theories for another time. In the end, we may never know exactly why some dinosaurs sported such wacky headgear, but as long as they made the dinosaurs feel cool, that's all that really matters. Thanks for watching.